President Kiir directs authorities in Warrap, Afanal, and Chungli to foster peace and unity. Humanitarian authorities issue alert over imminent flooding in parts of South Sudan. First Advisory Council and Third Annual Assembly of the East African Communication Organization commence in Juba. A very good evening. This is SSBC News coming to you live in our studio headquarters here in Juba. My name is Mayeriam Yok. We begin our news with some Republican decrees. Relief of the chairperson of the Board of Directors of the South Sudan Civil Aviation Authority. Pursuant to the provision of Section 12C and 13A1 of the Civil Aviation Authority Act 2012, I, Salva Kiir Mayardit, President of the Republic of South Sudan, do hereby relieve Addis Ababa Athau from his position as the chairperson of the Board of Directors of South Sudan Civil Aviation Authority, issued under my hand and the seal of the Republic of South Sudan in Juba, these 9 days of the month of June in the year 2025. Signed, Salva Kiir Mayardit, President, Republic of South Sudan, Juba. Relief of the two officials of the Bank of South Sudan. Pursuant to the provision of the Article 1827 and 182A4 of the Transitional Constitution of the Republic of South Sudan, 2011 as amended, read together with Section 38(1) of the Interpretation of the Law and the General Provision Act 2006, I, Salva Kiir Mayardit, President of the Republic of South Sudan, do hereby relieve two officials of the Bank of South Sudan as hereunder. 1. Honorable Johani Ohosa Demo, Governor of the Bank. 2. Honorable Addis Ababa Athau Akongdit, First Deputy Governor of Bank of South Sudan, issued under my hand and the seal of the Republic of South Sudan in Juba, this 9th day of the month of June in the year 2025. Signed, Salva Kiir Mayardit, President, Republic of South Sudan, Juba. Appointment of the two officials to the Bank of South Sudan. Pursuant to the provision of the Article 1827 and 182A4 of the Transitional Constitution of the Republic of South Sudan, 2011 as amended, I, Salva Kiir Mayardit, President of the Republic of South Sudan, do hereby appoint two officials to the Bank of South Sudan as hereunder. 1. Honorable Addis Ababa Athau Akongdit, Governor of South Sudan, Bank of South Sudan. 2. Honorable Samuel Yanga Makaya, First Deputy Governor of Bank of South Sudan, issued under my hand and the seal of the Republic of South Sudan in Juba, this 9th day of the month of the June in the year 2025. Signed, Salva Kiir Mayardit, President, Republic of South Sudan, Juba. Relief of General Manager of South Sudan Electricity Corporation. Pursuant to the provision of the Section 19(1) of South Sudan Electricity Corporation Act 2011, I, Salva Kiir Mayardit, President of the Republic of South Sudan, do hereby relieve Engineer Bek Awan Deng from his position as the General Manager of South Sudan Electricity Corporation, issued under my hand and the seal of the Republic of South Sudan in Juba, this 9th day of the month of June in the year 2025. Signed, Salva Kiir Mayardit, President, Republic of South Sudan, Juba. Appointment of the General Manager of South Sudan Electricity Corporation. Pursuant to the provision of Section 17(1) of the South Sudan Electricity Corporation Act 2011, I, Salva Kiir Mayardit, President of the Republic of South Sudan, do hereby appoint Engineer Joseph Kur Ajak as the General Manager of South Sudan Electricity Corporation, issued under my hand and the seal of the Republic of South Sudan in Juba, this 9th day of the month of the June in the year 2025. Signed, Salva Kiir Mayardit, President, Republic of South Sudan, Juba. appointment of the technical advisors. Pursuant to the provision of the Article 106A 2A of the Transitional Constitution of the Republic of South Sudan, I, Salva Kiir Mayardit, President of the Republic of South Sudan, do hereby appoint Engineer Beki Awan Deng as the technical advisor in the Ministry of Energy and Dams. Issue under my hands and the seal of the Republic of South Sudan in Juba, this 9th day of the month of the June in the year 2025. Signed, Salva Kiir Mayardit, President of the Republic of South Sudan, Juba. That were the publican decrees. Now to begin with our news, we begin tonight with President Salva Kiir directing the governor of Warab, Upper Nile and Jonglei State to intensify grassroots engagement on the fostering peace and unity as the key pillar for the effective delivery of essential service in your respective region. The President issued the directive during a series of the meeting with the state leaders. SSBC Aliando Lotok report.
With growing concern over the security and humanitarian situation in various parts of the country, President Salva Kiir Mayardit has renewed his call for an end to violence and urged all citizens to choose peace and reconciliation for the betterment of the nation. The President made the appeal on Monday as he received updates from the state governors, beginning with Dr. Yak Kok of Jonglei State. Governor Kok informed the President that the security in Jonglei is currently stable. President Kiir, on his part, commended Governor Kok for his leadership and reaffirmed the national government's commitment to supporting local peace initiatives, pledging ongoing collaboration to achieve lasting stability across Jonglei and beyond.
نؤكد للمواطن في جنوب السودان إنه الأوضاع في ولاية جونغلي مستقرة تماما. المشاكل اللي كانت بتحصل بين القبائل بعد ما we started to engage الجراس روتس خاصة الشباب والمرأة والسلاطين والإداريين، فهم كله قبلوا رسالة بتاع السيد رئيس الجمهورية إنه الناس تعيش في سلام. نورت السيد رئيس الجمهورية بالنسبة لمؤتمر في شهر 6 دي يجمع قبائل المرلة وجيرانهم من دنكبور واللو والقاور عشان يناقشوا كيف يعيشوا في سلام. والرئيس رحب بهذه الفكرة وأبدأ إنه بدعم هذا المؤتمر، وطلبنا إنه يكون في تمثيل من المركز لهذا المؤتمر.
In a separate briefing, the President heard from Governor James Kong Chol of Upper Nile State. Governor Kong reported notable improvements in the region, especially following recent unrest in Wulang and Nasser counties. According to the governor, many displaced families have begun returning to their homes in Wulang and Nasser, an encouraging sign of improved security and restored public confidence.
I briefed the President and the Commander in Chief about the security situation in Upper Nile State in general, and the security situation is quite normal in all the 13 counties except the Penyakang County. The humanitarian situation also, I briefed him. The food which had been dropped to Nasser and Wulang County is really helped a lot, and the people are coming back. Is really the congratulation is coming back to the President, who have really delivered this food to his people. The situation in the area is quite normal. People return to Nasser in big number. They have collected food, and they have really came to come and stay in the town.
Meanwhile, the President has instructed newly appointed Governor of Warabi State, Bolweka Goth, to immediately go home and address rising insecurity in the area. President Kiir assured Governor Wek of full support from the national leadership as he embarks on effort to restore law and order in the region plagued by intercommunal violence.
What is impressive about this meeting, he said he's going to support me 100%. My assignment is to bring peace and harmony in Warabi State, is to bring security, is to bring development, and overall some stability so that people of Warab can engage in productivity. Having had a word of encouragement from him, I'm assured that I will get the support I need. The support I need is to talk to my people of Warab, give them the words of our president. If there are issues, we should resolve them and get reconciled so that we deal with the challenges of climate change, challenges of poverty, challenges of insecurity.
As the country continues to confront challenges on multiple fronts, Monday's briefing reflects renewed efforts by both national and state leaders to forge a path of reconciliation, development, and enduring peace across South Sudan. Alejandro Lotok, SSBC News, Juba.
That's The South Sudanese People Defense Forces have launched a disarmament campaign in Warab State and Mayom County of United States following a presidential decree declaring a 6-month state of emergency to restore orders. According to SSPDF spokesperson Major General Lul Raikong, the operation will roll out in 2 phases, voluntarily and forceful. A 1-week grace period has been given for the youth to disarm and surrender weapons peacefully. After that, the forceful disarmament will begin across the affected areas. The SSPDF stresses the campaign is in line with the legal frameworks and urge all the harmed youth to cooperate, warning that non-compliance will attract strict consequences. Warab new Governor Ambassador Bulwek vowed to stabilize security, foster peaceful coexistence and development in the state. This followed a meeting with the Presidential Advisor on National Security Affairs, Madoud Yel, in Juba, where they discussed collaborative effort towards enhancing security in Warab State. The Presidential Advisor Madoud assured the Governor of the leadership his support and commitment to working along with the state authority to realize peace and stability. Speaking to SSBC, Ambassador Bulwek emphasized on the significance of the constructive dialogue among the sons and daughters of Warab State to attain a durable peace to pave a way service delivery.
I have an honor to meet with Presidential Advisor on Security, General Madoud. It was encouraging and fruitful meeting. So I hope with his confirmation of support to me and my senior people like General Madoud Biar, Presidential Advisor, Vice President Bolmel, whom I met the day I was swearing, gave me assurance that I'm going to have a longer time as a serving governor of Warab State, because I come from there. I understand the issues in Warab. I have a mindset of approaching them with an open mind through dialogue. If dialogue cannot succeed, there is a sovereign power where a government can use its post, like a state of emergency. So I hope this day will define my mission, because I met with the highest authority of the country, and I confirm and commit myself that I will do my best.
Turning to humanitarian authorities have issued an alert about imminent flooding in parts of South Sudan. Regional meteorological data point to excessive regional rainfall that could impact up to 4.4 million people, particularly in lowland areas across the central Equatoria, Jonglei, Upper Unity, and Warab State. The alert was announced during the briefing on Monday in Juba between the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Disaster Management, Elvino Akol-Atak, and the United Nations Humanitarian Coordinator, Anita Kiki. Speaking to SSBC, Minister Elvino Akol revealed that a recent regional forecast signal above average rainfall likely to trigger the widespread flooding. He added that the ministry is in collaboration with humanitarian partners will intensify preparation, including the reactivation of the Crisis Management Committee to enhance early warning system and coordinate rapid response measures. For our part, UN Humanitarian Coordinator Anita Kiki reaffirmed the commitment of the United Nations to provide technical support and guidance to help mitigate the impact of the potential flooding.
In this planning, as usual, we bring on board all the stakeholders, government institutions and the partners, so that we look at what is it going to be affected and what is the magnitude, and then we plan how do we mitigate that impact on our people. We have now projected two scenarios. One, we say that 1.4 million will be affected, and mostly in 6 states as we started last year, and it of course will go to the other states. And the worst scenario will be 4.4 million people that will be affected. And this is because of the projection made by Meteorological Department that between July to September, the rain will fall in above normal way. With this preparation, we want to say that we are, going to expedite the preparations so that we put in place the response plan before that time that we have mentioned, so that we are ready before time.
Unfortunately, we expect that the floods are going to be similar to last year. In a most likely case scenario, we'll see 1.4 million people affected. In a worst case scenario, we could see over 4 million people affected. The purpose of our discussion today was to see how quickly we can put in place structures that allow us to coordinate and respond in a similar fashion or even more efficiently and effectively than we did last year. This includes ensuring that our flood preparedness task forces are in place under the leadership of government. It includes ensuring that communities have messages. They're very clear about what's coming their way.
The Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Hossein Abdelbaghi Akhol, met with the UN Humanitarian Coordinator, Anita Kiki, to discuss United Nations support to the country's agriculture sector. The meeting focused on supporting mechanization for sustainable development. Speaking after the meeting, the Ministry is Under Secretary Professor Matthew Gordon Odo said the meeting also touched on the preparation for the upcoming agriculture conference. For our part, Anita Kiki affirmed continued support to the country's agriculture sector to boost food security.
And in principle, the UN body, they said that they are ready to support the ministry in holding of this conference. We also touch on issue of establishment of agro-mechanical service center. Instead of distributing tractors to individual, tractors can be put into those locations across the country in the 10 state and 3 administrative area. Those who are interested in farming can go and acquire the tractor and then they do the work, provided that at the end of the day they will have to pay back for the service that the tractor and the input is going to give to them. We also touch on this issue of food insecurity or food security under the IPC, which the agreement principle that they are going to launch the result in 2 to 3 days time together, and then the deputy country representative will give that time as when to participate in that launching process. And the discussion was very good indeed. The minister was very happy, and we expect that this type of cooperation continue, at least to boost agricultural production and the food security in the whole country.
We spoke about agro-mechanical centers, a vision of the ministry. We spoke about using land or having land apportioned in different parts of the country that could be used for demonstration farms and many such issues. The minister and myself recognize that this year is a particularly difficult year. We're not seeing the kind of resources we've had in the past, and the discussion was how within existing resources and with government in the lead, we could do less better when it comes to agriculture. So all in all, a good meeting to discuss how we can focus and prioritize in.
Our viewers, let's have this short break. Stay tuned, don't go away. Welcome back from that short break. You're still watching SSBC News. The United Kingdom expressed its interest to supporting peace and development in South Sudan. British Ambassador David Ashler made the statement during his meeting with the Minister of Wildlife Conservation and Tourism in Juba, focusing on increasing the kingdom's role in strengthening the wildlife conservation in South Sudan. Martin Justin filed the story.
The Minister of Wildlife Conservation and Tourism, Rizi Zakaria Hassan, and the Ambassador of the United Kingdom, David Ashley, brainstormed on the future of joint cooperation between Juba and London with focus on protecting nature and wildlife. The British diplomat says the United Kingdom is keenly interested in the process to restore peace and security in South Sudan to set the stage for proactive and sustainable development in the country.
Both from a nature perspective and from a development perspective, that South Sudan is able to protect its nature, its wildlife, and to, in due course, provide the security and the infrastructure so that tourists can come and thereby contribute to the economy of South Sudan. So the UK is already supporting in a small way through our funding to Flora and Fauna International for its work in Western Equatoria. We discussed with His Excellency the Minister possible future cooperation.
The Minister of Wildlife Conservation and Tourism says the discussions touch on the advisory role of King Charles on wildlife conservation.
This meeting we have discussed several issues, of which first I have emphasized on the position of His Majesty King Charles on his advocacy on wildlife conservation and tourism, as well as also we sense the realities that most of our protected areas were being established during the Britain management.
He refers to a preliminary agreement on strengthening the national wildlife protecting system through partnership and cooperation with the United Kingdom.
Focus on the possibilities of the partnerships. What will be the most likely relevant areas that we should pick to develop within our general conservation, as well as the presence of one of the Britain organization on the ground, which is the FFI, Fauna and Flora International, that they are operating in a major part in Western Equatoria. We now have reached certain areas of possible strengthening of conservation through the ongoing partnership.
Interestingly, most of the national parks and game reserves were established in the Sudan during the Anglo-Egyptian condominium administration. Martin Justin Paul Kose, SSBC, Juba.
The first Advisory Council and 30 annual assemblies of the East African Communication Organization formally commenced in Juba, hosted by the National Communication Authority, and say it expected to meet every 2 years, including all the ECOS Assembly of the Regulators, Assembly of the Postal Operators, Assembly of the Telecommunication Operators, and Assembly of Broadcasting Operators. SSBC Abati Simon compiled the report voiced by Deng Achul.
The Advisory Council and assemblies are attempting to create opportunities for EACO, East African Communication Organization member states, and partners to interact, network, exchange, and share experiences under the theme Shaping the Future of the East African Region through Digital Transformation. The chairperson of board of the East African Communication Organization, EACO, Dr. Samuel Muhuzi, says members of the Advisory Council and assemblies and stakeholders are expected to reach a tangible result for a better East Africa region.
This is not just a vision. It's a mandate that calls upon all of us to drive the kind of innovation, harmonization, and policy foresight that will empower our citizens and economies in the digital age. Today, we commence the week with our committees and working group sessions, which are the engine of EACO's technical and policy development. These sessions allow our experts and stakeholders to dive deep into key thematic areas that are vital to the communication sector in our region.
The Director General of the National Communication Authority, Gethkon Mathiankun says the advisory council targets delegates comprising of policymakers, legislators, regulators, operators, and service providers in the ICT sector, academia, and consumers of ICT services in the East African region to address the needs and concerns of quality service delivery.
For South Sudan, hosting this event and participating fully in each session reflect our growth and belief in regional solidarity. It is essential to remember that the policy, recommendation, and technical standard will adapt and will have effect on the life of every citizen for the remote farmers utilizing mobile services to the young entrepreneur. Developing digital startup within population nearing 200 million.
The East African Communication Organization Executive Director, Dr. Yaya Simba, confirms the body as a strategic plan in line with organization's aspiration of promoting cooperation among stakeholders in the development and provision of ICT services in the East African region.
Digital is not merely a settlement, it's a reflection of collective aspiration of our region to harness the power of information and the communication technologies for sustainable socio-economic development. Since its establishment, EACO has remained steadfast in its core mandate to strengthen and promote cooperation among East African Community partner states in the development and provision of postal, telecommunication, and broadcasting services.
The conference centered on strategies to better consumer protection by advising means to safeguard consumer interests through enforcing quality standards and addressing compliance in the communication sector. Deng Achol, SSBC News, Juba.
The Ministry of Mining and South Sudan Civil Aviation Authority convened to discuss addressing mineral smuggling. The Ministry's Undersecretary Dr. Matiok Santino Akwe stresses the negative effect of the mineral smuggling and illegal trade to the country's economic and development, appealing to the public to report such malpractices to the concerned authorities. The Director General of South Sudan Civil Aviation Authority, John Hoja, expressed readiness to supporting the ministry in addressing mineral smuggling at Juba International Airport and other entering points.
Smuggling for gold, precious minerals in the Republic of South Sudan become a great challenge that is underpinning the performance, and it has become a major challenge to Ministry of Mine. We call all the relevant stakeholders, partners, our government, law enforcement agencies, to ensure that any minerals being smuggled in has to be reported to the relevant authority. A Ministry of Mining has a mandate and role to give a license to a gold and other minerals that are relevant to be exported outside the country. So therefore, we have held this meeting to discuss on how we can curb and how we can handle the issues pertaining the smuggling in Juba International Airport. Those who fail for non-compliance will be apprehended and the law will take its role.
Of recent, we have arrested gold, even uniforms, and some arms, and they are all reported to the Security for investigation. We have reinforced our manpower by enhancing their capacity to ensure that every person going through our airports must follow the procedure. Therefore, I want to inform the public that do not move with smuggled goods. Follow the law. If you are dealing in gold mining, whether business, you must follow the procedure, the law, in South Sudan. Do not come with your gold or any other dangerous goods that are not approved by the government.
The Ministry of Culture, Museum and National Heritage has officially launched registration of the cultural organization, Grove and Trophies, an initiative at protecting the country's rich culture. The Ministry's and the Secretary Majak Maluk emphasized commitment to enhancing the capacity of cultural trophies to play a vital role in promoting and preserving diverse culture. The Director for Registrar at the Ministry of Culture, Museum and National Heritage, Saleh Ngor, acknowledged the various cultural trophy for their role in shaping the social fabric of the nation, contributing to social cohesion, unity and peace.
So today we have launched a data collection registration where the government will be able now to give a space for all the cultural organizations. My appeal to my colleagues in the other ministries, the partners, is to cooperate with us so that whenever a cultural organization is requested, they should keep us informed. We'll give them a data so that there's inclusivity, so that everybody sees, every cultural or group see itself in South Sudan.
كل التنظيمات الثقافية وكل زول عامل في مجال بتاع الثقافة، فيمكن يكون رسالتي هنا لكل المنظمات الشغالة في مجال بتاع الثقافة، لكل الفنانين، لكل الفرق الشعبية، لكل زول شغال في المجال بتاع الثقافة، إنه الليلة إحنا نشرنا بصورة رسمية التسجيل من داخل الوزارة، والتسجيل له فوائد كثيرة، لأنه الليلة لو عندنا أي منافسة أو أي مشاركة خارج جنوب السودان أنت ما حتقدر تعرف إنه منو حيشارك لو ما نظمت الأجسام كلهم ولو ما سجلتهم كلهم مع بعض زي ما يتكلم.
Last of this short break, stay tuned. Welcome back from that short break. We're still watching SSBC News. The Inspector General of Police, General Abraham Manyot Peter, accompanied by his Assistant for Logistics, the Assistant Inspector General of the Central Equatorial State, and other senior police officers inspected the 22,000 square meters land allocated to the National Police Service since 2011 by local community. Speaking at the site, Police Chief General Manyot commends the people of Lukurili Fayam for allocating the land, describing it as the milestone to promote development, security and peace in the area. The bomb administrator who spoke on behalf of the Kodo and Jokowe Boma, Luz Lado, say they would officially earn the land document to the police. Chief Sibit Akwere acknowledged the police role in promoting laws and orders.
We came to check the plot which was given to us in situ here. They are going to demarcate it using the GPS, and then it will be handed over. This is the start for the development and peace. I thank the Payam administrators who already planned for this since 2011, and it is in their demarcation. And also we thank the chiefs who have told us about this issue, and they are with us because they are concerned with the population.
For community kaman bardo zaman dak di mahal dele polisi al inno lazim kele yakun fi bajre kele yakun lazim kele amalo lakini ana mutakid bi wujud fitak zama inta jaata ziyara midaniya de aksan haja o ka nihna buma ana ka buma administrator al mahalla kullu kan dagana وفي documents أنا عملته documents بتاعكم guide في المكتب أنا متأكد ده كله هيتسلم إنتم بيسلموا عشان إنه كان جاء مولو لازم يكون قانوني هذا قانون إنه ده محلكم ده إنت بيشوفوا كان إنتم بعدين بيعمل كيف
جاء بتاعكنا زيارة ميداني في مكان تبوليس أنا بشوف ده أول خطوة كويس لأنه محل ده دمكان من 2011 ما في زول أو ما في قائد أو ما في IGP جالس هنزور محل بتاعه وهنا كسلتين هنا طلع محل ده توكوما معناته بستخدمه فوق سنو حاجات توكوما عشان كده أنا بدي شكر وأنا بقول مبروك مبروك ألف مبروك لكن ما بتاعك تقدرت تيجي سانتا تبذل.
The office of the First Lady donated 2 vehicles to the SPLM Women League on Monday. Speaking to SSBC upon receiving the donation, a member of the SPLM Liberation Council, Mary Nyawolang Chan, say the vehicle would contribute effectively in boosting the activities of the Women League. SPLM Secretary for Political Affairs, Paul Makweng, acknowledged the contribution of the First Lady, Mama Mary Ayan Mayardit, during and after the liberation struggle.
Today we are here and very grateful to Almighty God and to the mighty SPLM party and for Her Excellency Mama Mary Ayan Mayardit being an advisor to the women of the SPLM Women League. Today we are here delegated to come and give a gift of a car to allow the women of the SPLM under the leadership of Comrade Book Gervas Makwaj for her so that she can be able to move with the team so that they can be able to mobilize the women of the SPLM to support the peace within the country. She contributed 2 vehicles, one for the chairperson and the other one for the Women League because they have more than 10 offices. There are secretaries of different committees so that they can be able to reach out all our SPLM women constituencies within the country.
On behalf of the SPLM National Secretariat, I'm today receiving a car and a bus as donated to the SPLM Women League by Mama Ayan Mayardit, the First Lady of South Sudan. SPLM is very grateful to have received this, specifically from a leader and a mother of the country, our nation. You may recall that Mama Ayan is a general in the army.
Our viewers, last of this short break, we shall be right back. Surely stay tuned. Welcome back from that short break. Still watching SSBC Evening News. To continue with our news, the Abyei Ministry of Information and of Health as well as Abyei Town Municipal launched a general cleaning campaign under the auspices of the Chief Administrator Charles Abiy Jok. The campaign under the theme "Toward Clean Health and Sustainable Environment to Serve the Citizen of Abiy" aimed at promoting clean environment. Information Minister Yohane Akol Ngor say the aim of the campaign is to prevent the spread of the disease in the area.
بالفعل وده ممكن يكون محدد بتاع الأمراض في المنطقة. عشان كده بلدية أبيي استعانت بتنظيمات المجتمع المدني وبعض من الوزارات في الحكومة. الليلة مرقنا في نظافة عامة. النظافة ده طبعا ده اللي أنا وليك أنت ولاي زول قاعد في المنطقة هنا عشان نقدر نحافظ على الصحة.
In a sport news, Kampala Queen have claimed a 2-0 victory over South Sudanese Yei Joint Star in international friendly held at Juba National Stadium. The match was part of the 2025 Sport Gala, proudly sponsored by South Sudan Revenue Authority. Uganda champion Kampala Queen struck early with the Madua Fees opening the scoring, followed by the well-taken goal from the team captain Nologonya Nyamari, both in the first half. Despite the determined effort from the home side, the visitors maintained control of position and comfortably held on their lead. Following the match, trophies and the medal were awarded to the celebrant, sponsorship and the participation. Yei Legend took home the corporate league trophy, while Kampala Queens were officially crowned winner of the international friendly.
Uganda's Kampala Queens defeated South Sudan's Yei Joint Stars 2-0 in an international women's football friendly at Juba National Stadium. The match was part of the 2025 Sports Gala organized by Yei Joint Stars and sponsored by South Sudan Revenue Authority. The fixture aimed to foster interaction between South Sudan's National League champions and Uganda's Super League champions, using sport as a platform to promote peace and regional unity. Kampala Queens opened the scoring in the 10th minutes through Mudua Peace before captain Nalugia Shamira made it 2-0 with a header in the 17th minute. Despite tactical adjustments from Yei Joint Stars, the Ugandan champions maintained their lead until the final whistle. After the match, both teams received trophies symbolizing friendship and cooperation through sports. Other awards were also presented, including the Corporate League title won by Yei Legends. For SSBC News, I'm Emmanuel Patrick, Juba National Stadium.
That report brings us to the end of this evening news. On behalf of the technical team working in the studio, my name is Mayeriam Yok. Stay tuned for the rest of the program coming up next.